What's up guys, Duarte here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and today we're going to take a look at one of my funny teams that I like to use on my live streams when I do them on the weekend when we have some special blitz. And in between blitzes sometimes I do Ultimus 7 and I use these wacky teams that I find really fun to play with them, and this is probably my favorite team for this year since the year is almost ending, and I really enjoy this team. And this is a huge problem I have with this game, with Marvel Strike Force, is the amount of bottlenecks that we have, and the fact that we have such a huge bottleneck in terms of gear. It's terrible because it doesn't allow us to experience all the characters. Right now we have the gear 15 bottleneck, before we had the gear 14, then we have the gear tier 15 with uniques and so on. And even so, even if you want to gear up your characters for Dark Dimension 4, you'll spend all your orange gear and then you'll have nothing to gear up other characters. So while this game is a collector game or something like that, the fact that we have such a stronghold on the gear, like, what's the point? We are collecting the characters but we are never going to be able to use them because of these such a huge bottleneck in terms of gear. We already have the gold, we already have the training materials, we already have the ions and the isoate and so on. At least let us use the characters, give us more gear, purple gear, blue gear, orange gear, especially orange gear, but even blue gear I don't have that much. So it's a huge stronghold, and if you agree, smash like. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And if you find the information on this video helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. So let's take a look at this team, and I think this is going to be interesting for many people because this is a very unusual team with characters I recommended for Dark Dimension 4, some of them, and other characters that people think that they are not very useful in raids. And this is on Ultimus 7, difficulty 5. And you'll see that even that some of these characters have low yellow stars, low red stars, and they have probably useless isoates for this specific game mode, that they still do fine. And whenever they get more gear and more stars and whatever, they will become way more interesting. Okay, so we have Hela, we have Captain America, we have Dr. Octopus, and I was not sure if I was going to use Emma Frost or not, because I'm already using Hela, and not to the same degree, but they kind of do the same. And because I wanted to diversify and I already use Emma Frost in most of my teams, so I decided to use something else. So I'm using Lady Electro, Black Widow, Captain America, Dr. Octopus and Hela. So is this a team you usually see from other content creators? Very unlikely, but I decided to share it with you guys because I have a great time with this team. It's very enjoyable. Can it auto? Maybe when I will have more gear on them, but right now we have 4 characters with gear tier 14, Black Widow, Captain America, Hela and Dr. Octopus, but Lady Electro, she's 5 yellow, 5 red and only gear tier 13. So there is a huge gap in terms of the gear that I'm using. So she could be a lot better. So we have Greg, we have Shocker, and one of the reasons why Black Widow is so good is because of the stun. Not only she gives massive speed up to everyone, or most of the time she does, then she also gives that massive stun that can stop enemies with problematic abilities, and with that it's going to be a huge advantage. And Captain America together with Black Widow, he has higher block chance. He always has defense up from his special, I think, and also from his basic. If you do the T4, it's okay T4, a little bit exclusive, but it becomes very, very useful in terms of raiding and Dark Dimension, and also for Alliance Wars. So yeah, this team has many options. Then Shocker at 5 red 5 yellow, because he has the same stats as my Dr. Octopus. So he can get a lot bigger, and his damage output will be way higher, but you'll see that even so that this team has huge amount of damage, as they can usually clear the nodes before the 1 minute mark, so that's very comfortable, and you'll have all cooldowns ready. And Captain America is a very cool character because he not only gives defense up, but he also gives energy. Much of that energy goes for Black Widow, for more stuns, for more speed ups, that results in more turns of your allies, but also to the other characters as well. So he's a very good character, he's very useful. Like I was saying before, sometimes I use Emma Frost with his team, other times I use Hela, they do pretty much the same thing. And this is a great combination of characters because we have Lady Electro applying the offense down for 2 turns, then Dr. Octopus can extend that, and then Hela can spread that whenever a new wave of enemies come around. So you'll have defense up for most of the time, and you will also have offense down on the enemies for most of the time. So I think it's a great combination, and once again it's really sad that we don't have more gear, and we are not allowed to have more experiments, and we cannot gear our favorite characters because the gear crunch is so high. It's something I really despise about this game, and I really wish that the developers would realize that they can make money on other things. We already have all the other gear, we already have the isoates, we have the gold, we have the ions, we have training materials, we have energy, we have cores that we need to buy for more attacks and more things like that. We already have all those places where they can milk us out. Can you get a little bit more gear so we can enjoy this hero collecting game? Because this is hero collecting game, this is what it is. And if you can't collect the heroes, what's the point then? Okay, so as you can see, the first node obviously it's a very easy node, but this one is a little bit harder. But unlike Yo-Yo, where she only applies offense down on turn of the enemy, like this with Lady Electro, you can apply the offense down, and the shield troopers are not as problematic as they usually are. If they do those counter attacks or those retaliation attacks when Yo-Yo is around, they do a lot more damage, but like this, as you can see, it's not a huge problem. And once again, like I was saying with Black Widow, Punisher, he does a lot of damage, especially because we have so many villains, but then you stun him, problem solved. In terms of slow, we don't have many options of applying slow. We can apply 2 turns slow with Dr. Octopus basic and then spread it around, and then we can enjoy the extra speed from Black Widow that she gives, and then everything else. So as you can see right here, I was almost dying because of that Mordo. Maybe I should have killed Mordo instead of Punisher. But you'll see that we'll be able to recover, and all these nodes that we are doing, this is in chain, there is no stop in between the nodes, and you'll see that I didn't use any healing items, so that's quite good for this team. That once again Lady Electro and Dr. Octopus could be way more geared than they are right now. So yeah. Okay, so finally we have a Mordo. I was trying to make this last as long as possible, so those regenerations would go for Dr. Octopus, and then I would be able to heal up, and that's exactly what happened. So like always, no problem, no items, that's the way I like to play. And now, because in some days I have to share my lane with someone else, I will jump to the other side where it's clear so we can do a few more nodes. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think about this team, and if you'd like to see more teams like this. Once again, I don't do more of this type of content because the gear crunch is so hard, and I don't have the chance of testing out these teams and to present to you because, well, someone has to pay for the gear, and if I gear up many other characters, then I will not be able to get in Dark Dimension 4 or stuff like that. So here I was changing the ISO weight because I had the wrong ISO weight. I had some ISO weight that I was doing Dark Dimension with, and with Hela I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but I was confirming that I had the right ISO weight on them. Because Dr. Octopus is not at max level, he doesn't heal enough, and maybe the positioning of the characters is not exactly where they should be. Let's take a look. I think I should have... I mean, it's not terrible, but could be a little bit better. Hela could be where Lady Electro is, and that would allow Dr. Octopus to heal way better, because Black Widow is in stealth, it's not a huge problem, and whenever Greg dies, Hela gets healed, so that should be enough to get better results. Okay, so here we have all these guys that dispel us and so on, but because once again you are applying that massive offense down with a huge focus from Lady Electro, then it's not a huge problem. Then I have the disrupt. I don't know exactly why I did that. I should have done the basic, but yeah, I guess at least they didn't remove the buffs. And we have Captain America with speed up and deflect. Those buffs are coming from Dr. Octopus because of his passive, so that's another reason, like, this guy is even more massive than usual. Now we summon we summon Shocker, and Shocker with his ultimate, like, it's just massive, and whenever Shocker dies, then he comes back again with his ultimate ready once again. And look at that, even at 5 yellow 5 red, as a bot, as a clone or bot or minion or whatever, he does tons of damage. And I really can't wait to have Dr. Octopus maxed out, because that's going to increase so much the value of Shocker. So here I was a little bit lucky, and that's why you want to have Lady Electro where Hela is, and especially because she has less gear than everyone else. Everyone else gear tier 14, she was the only one at gear tier 13 without any items. So yeah, that's a huge disadvantage for her, but as you can see, we are getting those massive regens. This team has so much speed up, it's just massive, and whenever those Gregs die, it's just epic. And yeah, so you can use Hela, you can use Emma Frost, you'll get similar results. I just like Hela a little bit more because of the fact that she can spread those negative effects around. And because of Captain America, more often than not, you'll have her ultimate ready, maybe twice per node, and that's going to be very, very relevant. We have the stun ready, but we don't need it. And as you can see, we are at 1 minute and a half left, so that's pretty good. Remember when people used it to time out on Ultimus 7? Well, this is Ultimus 7 difficulty 5 with some random trash team that I just made up for entertaining. But yeah, it's characters I like. I like Dr. Octopus. I'm not a big fan of Captain America, but it's one of those things, like, you don't like the character but you like the kit, and then you kind of start to enjoy the character. Many games, they start like that, like, you don't know the character, but then you play with them, you start to enjoying their kit, and you start to enjoy using them, and then you start to like the character. I never liked the Avengers, and now I'm using Captain America and Black Widow all the time. I didn't know Hela until recently, until I played Marvel Strike Force, or maybe when I watched the movie. The girl from the movie was quite hot, and because of that, now I'm using Hela way more often. Lady Electro, I have searched for her origin and I can't find it anywhere, but it's a character I didn't know about it, but now I like it a lot because I like her kit, and I like the way she looks and so on. So yeah, like, this is ways where characters get developed, where they find fan bases and so on. And the fact that in this hero collector game we cannot use other characters, it's just bad for them, it's just bad for business. It would be way better if we would be allowed to explore the characters that we have available and make combinations like these that are very good for us to use, and that we are not limited by the options the developers want us to use. Like, yeah, of course we are going to use Black Bolt and Yo-Yo and so on, but we can also use other characters and have the same results or maybe better. You guys let me know what you think about this team, and if you like what you see or not. But I definitely do, and once again, I really like the diversity that we can have. It just sucks that once again the stranglehold or the chokehold or whatever, how you say it, I don't know, the bottleneck on the gear is so damn high on a hero collecting game. It makes no sense. It's such a strange business decision that like, I don't get it. And then everything is based on the energy. So now gear tier 14 is farmable, but you need so many items, and it's so based on energy that will still take ages to gear up any character. Okay, so we are almost done with this kinda hard node. Nick Fury was going to do his special and give buffs to everyone else because he didn't have disrupt. So instead of applying disrupt, I just stun him and problem solve it. So I was saving my cooldowns for the next node, which we are not going to do. But as you can see, this hard node that some people wipe here, even using symbiotes if they do the wrong rotation or something like that, it was easily made with this team that the least I can say is that is very unusual. But you guys let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. And I'm sad that I cannot present to you more teams like this, but once again, I cannot compromise my Dark Dimension 4 progress to show you teams like this. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Smash that like button like a boss. If you found the information and the content on this video helpful and entertaining, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.